guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Monday, which means it is a Cricut tutorial, and that's awesome because we love Mondays and we love Cricut tutorials, right? Just another thing to make your Mondays a little bit better than what Mondays are really supposed to be like. Above and beyond to bring you guys as many techniques as I can to make t-shirts. Now you know that t-shirts are like one of the biggest things that you can make with the Cricut, but I wanted to think a little bit outside the box and show you guys a bunch of different ways that you can make them. They might not all be your favorite, but they're really cool techniques, and some of them are a lot more inexpensive, so you could do them for like birthday parties or set them up as kid crafts so that kids can do some and you're not wasting iron on and things like that. I'm not going to go so much into how I did each one because the ones that take a little bit more explanation, I actually have shot a complete tutorial and they will be up on my channel soon. But this is just one of those videos that's going to inspire you and give you guys a ton of different options, a ton of different budgets for making t-shirts. And I'm going to tell you, some of them turned out so cool. Some of them were like, okay, that would be fun. But some of them were like ridiculously cool. I was like, I'm going to wear this and I want to make more of them. If you guys don't have a Cricut and you don't know what one is, check out my playlist. And if you guys don't have one, there are links in the description to my blog, which I put the latest coupon codes, and I'm always updating them. So let's get going.
All right, so the first technique is splatter paint. You can do a stencil or a reverse stencil. For this case, I used a stencil, and I actually used the stencil material that Cricut sells. There's links down below to all the products that we are using, as well as I'm going to go into tutorials on a lot of these. But with the stencil vinyl, you basically put it to custom and then find stencil vinyl on your computer, and then you cut it out. The nice thing about it is you can use the reverse stencil and the stencil if it's something simple like this Mickey. I could actually make 2 shirts out of this because I got a stencil and the reverse stencil. By reverse stencil, I mean putting the stencil on it and then spraying or doing something around it. So for this first technique, we're just going to splatter paint and kind of do this modern art brush stroke thing that I just kind of made up. And I used 2 different colors, and that is it. And then the next one, I used Mod Podge and glitter, and this is not a reverse stencil either. This is a regular stencil, but this technique we're using freezer paper. So I just rolled out my freezer paper, stuck it on my mat, and then once it is ready to cut, you're going to iron it on. I will do a tutorial on how to use freezer paper specifically, but for this, I'm just showing you different ways you can make shirts. So when you've got your Mod Podge ready, you're just going to saturate the empty spaces and then put some glitter on top of that, and then you're going to go over the glitter again with Mod Podge. We kind of did this in our Mickey sweatshirt that we made for Christmas time, but the stencil makes it a lot easier. So we're just going to cover that. The next one is a regular stencil as well that I used freezer paper for, but I just tackled this puppy with some bleach. So this was really fun. I just got some straight bleach and put it in a little spray bottle that I got at the dollar store, and then I sprayed the t-shirt, and I probably would go over this one more time so that you can't see the negative space, but basically you're going to leave the bleach on until it gets to the color that you want, and then once it is there, you're going to douse it with some water, and this will also be a more in-depth tutorial coming soon. So look for that if you really like this shirt, because these are like my favorite, the bleach. So the next one is spray paint, and we are going to do reverse stencil for this one. So I took the San Francisco Giants stencil and I used freezer paper by ironing it on, and then I spray painted this. I actually used 2 different colors, but the light blue didn't really show up, but it kind of gave it a little bit of depth. So I just went over this very lightly, guys. Very lightly. And then I hang all my shirts out to dry just to let you guys see how I did that. And yeah, it was kind of a fun day with all my shirts. So this one is my favorite. I was so excited how this one turned out. I used freezer paper for this one. This will be a tutorial specifically for this t-shirt, but just like the SF Giants, this is a reverse stencil, meaning I put the stencil on and sprayed the negative space to change that color, and then doused it with water and pulled my stencil off, and it was good to go. Then I hung that puppy on the fence to dry along with my other shirts, and it was just a really cool day with a bunch of shirts hanging out. The next one is a reverse stencil splatter paint. I could have done this one a little bit more so you could see the logo a little bit more, but I kind of liked how subtle it was. So this is also reverse stencil, so I put the stencil on. Then I just tackled this baby with some splatter paint. I didn't want to get too crazy with it because I didn't want it to look like I was a 5-year-old in the 80s, but after I did it, I was like, I really should have done more. And then this one is a iron-on patch, and all you need is some fabric and some heat and bond, and this will also be another tutorial coming up soon, so check that out, but this is definitely a way. And then of course you can just do some single layer iron-on by Cricut. All of these links are below for all the products. This is just a glitter iron-on, and then you can also get a little crazy and do layered iron-on, and that will also be a tutorial coming up. But basically you just heat up your space and put on one thing and get it good on your shirt, and the words just aren't coming out right now, but then you put another one on and you go over it with another one, and this is a cute one we did for Brightly. And then another task that you can do is make some fun ones out of freezer paper and just have your kids paint them. It's a really cool way to have your kids paint shirts. So let's go over this real quick. You can use stencil vinyl to use Mod Podge or splatter paint it or reverse splatter paint. Or you can also bleach it, or you can reverse bleach it. You can use freezer paper to bleach it, or reverse bleach it, or splatter paint it, or reverse splatter paint it, or Mod Podge it. You can use iron-on. You can use glitter iron-on, layered iron-on, or fabric patches. You can spray paint, reverse stencil, vinyl stencil, or freezer stencil. And that is all the ways that I came up with you to make a shirt, and I'm sure there's more to come, so don't forget to subscribe. Love you guys. Bye.